Hello and welcome to the Budget Knitter podcast channel. My name is Will Spargur. I'm your host. I'm coming to you from not Las Vegas anymore. I am in Henderson, Nevada, which is Las Vegas. And today we are going to do a question and answer video. I've done one or two of these, maybe just one so far. Maybe two. I don't remember. Anyway, I've done a question and answer before, and I know some of you have had more questions since then, so I figured we would go through Ravelry and we would go through my YouTube comments and answer some of the questions you may have. So we're gonna pop over to YouTube first, and these aren't gonna be off of any specific video or anything. I'm just gonna kind of scroll through the order that they came in for the entire channel and see if there are any questions to answer. I have been reading them, but a lot of the times that that you guys are commenting has more to do with like my giveaway stuff, so I don't really comment back on those, but I do read them. I need to put these in. Well, alright. So I have to find an actual question. While I'm looking for an actual question, though, a lot of you who did watch my last podcast where I had my friend Angel here with me, I'm really thrilled that so many of you loved meeting her. She really is one of my best fiber friends, and she's so nice and so fun, and I wish I got to see her more, but I'm so happy that so many of you loved meeting her, and I do plan to have her back on the podcast because I know some of you said that you definitely want to see her again. So don't worry, I mean, it's not going to be too often because she's busy, I'm busy, you know, the whole deal. But no, she will be back at some point, and I'm really excited to make that happen. Oh, somebody did ask where I got my needle case. So if you didn't watch the last podcast, I got this beautiful needle case from Erin Lane Bags when I was at Stitches SoCal. It is a knitting needle. It's an interchangeable needle set holder, but it has pockets and everything for 2 sets of interchangeable needles from US 2s to US 11s. It also has places for your fixed circulars, your notions, and anything else you may need. It's all in that bag with a magnetic clasp that has a channel so the magnet will move, so no matter how stuffed it gets, it'll still close. So I got that bag from Erin Lane Bags. You can go to erinlanebags.com and see all of their products. They have some amazing stuff, and they've got something for every budget. So go check it out. I'll put the link in the video description box below. And that was actually a question. Let's see. Oh, somebody asked, how does your husband feel about everything that's going on with you in your crafting career? To be honest, he's a little indifferent. It's not really his thing. I mean, he understands it and he's happy for me, but it really is kind of just my thing. And he's got a lot going on in his life with school and work and everything else that he's doing, so I kind of just get left to do my own thing, and I actually kind of like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the time that we do spend together, but I also like being left to just my yarn. I love that feeling. There are days that I just like curl up in the corner of the guest bed and I just watch TV and knit, and that is so amazing. But there's a lot of cool design opportunities and things coming up as well, so I kind of like that he's not just all up in it. I guess there's not really another way to put that, but no, he's a little indifferent, but he's not like condescending or anything. It's kind of like oh, okay, that's cool, and that's all I really need from him. I've got to scroll through all of your giveaway questions or comments. Oh, okay. So I showed off the Pantone yarn, the Karen and Pantone color wheel yarn. It's the 5 sets of mini skeins. Are they separate mini skeins braided together, or is that somehow one skein of yarn braided onto itself? So the answer to that question, Megan of Crafters Party Podcast, which if you don't watch her, you should. She's amazing. I love her. She's one of my best friends. So Megan, they're separate mini skeins, and I don't really know how they tie them together because I haven't taken them apart yet. But there's a lot of people doing that now with mini skein sets. They tie them in that way, but they're separate mini skeins braided into each other. Deb D, are you doing your yarn over bind off in pattern? Mine don't flare. Just asking. No, I am not. And every time I talk about it, you remind me that I can do that. So I'm gonna try that. On the pair of socks I'm knitting now, I won't do it, but on the next pair of socks, I will try the yarn over bind off in pattern and see how that turns out. So thank you for being a friendly reminder that I can do that, because I literally forget every time. So many of you are giving me advice. I mentioned the crocheted hats I was doing, and I was getting the point like a gnome hat. So I've gotten a lot of advice from you guys on how to fix that, and I really appreciate that. So thank you. And actually, it's kind of funny because a lot of you have the exact same answer, which is to start with 12. I started with 8, but most of you start with 12 and don't seem to have a problem. So I guess that's the answer. I need to start with 12. I also love to see that many of you love Christmas or Easter for the plethora of reasons that you can enjoy those holidays. So that's awesome. A few of you love Halloween. I mean, what's not to love about Halloween? I have had an eye twitch for like 2 weeks and it just will not stop. And it's really hard to read when it's like twitching back and forth. Some of you mentioned that, because I mentioned that my sewing machine was having some issues, and so some of you told me what I can check for that, and I did, and actually it did work. Something about checking the tension. I found that the yarn was actually getting stuck in part of it, so I figured out, I think I was winding something through there wrong. But I did figure it out. Will you have your own room just for crafting in your new place? Sort of. So this is the guest room slash craft room slash the husband has friends over and they're like watching TV in the room, and sometimes I'll just come down here and sleep. Because I go to bed really early. I usually go to bed between 8:30 and 9:10 if I've got stuff to do. So he's definitely a night owl, and sometimes the sleeping patterns just don't work out. So I will sometimes sleep down here because this is also where the fan is, and I can pop the window open without freezing the whole house. So sometimes I will sleep down here. But this is kind of, it's the everything room. So it's the crafting room, it's the guest bedroom, it's the cleaning storage closet room, it's the dog's room, it's the everything room. The video game room, or at least my video games are down here. I know so many of you are listening to me talk about absolute silence right now. I love that there's a comment that just says pizza. Oh, that's right. I remember I asked you guys about your favorite food for a giveaway, and I just saw one that just said pizza. Like, oh, good. Now I'm hungry. I made a pot roast. It was delicious. Now I'm probably going to go eat more pot roast. Okay, so it looks like I've kind of come across most of the questions, because most of the comments are more about, you know, entering for the giveaways, so there's fewer questions. But I do have a few questions in the questions for the budget knitter thread on Ravelry, so I think I'll pop over there real quick. Excuse me, there real quick. Yeah, I don't see any other questions in here. Feel free to ask me questions. Ask me anything. I love this whole question and answer thing. I was trying to think of maybe I could like pull up a random like a list of questions I could answer for you guys. If I just like pulled up a random list of them. Okay. We'll do this. There's like 116 here, but we'll do the first 10 just for fun. Are you hot? Physically or like to other people? I am a little warm. We finally figured out how to get the heat turned on. I learned how to light a pilot light. That was fun. Our furnace is in the attic, and the attic is not easily accessible. You have to go into the master bedroom, into the master closet, push a piece of the ceiling up and into the attic, and then you have to get from the ground to, like, pull yourself in through that tiny hole without a ladder, because I don't own a ladder, and then get it up into the attic and light the pilot light, which took like an hour because it just, with it being Vegas, the furnace runs for like 3 months out of the year and then it doesn't. So I did have to climb up there and light the pilot light. That was terrifying. So now that the heat is working, I am a little warm. Am I hot to other people? I don't know. Am I? You don't have to answer that. Are you rich? Absolutely not. I don't know if I'd want to be. Money seems to create a lot of problems, both when you don't have it and when you do. So I don't think I'd want to be rich. I think comfortable would be better. Are you in love? Well, I hope so. I'm married. Do you like coffee? I love coffee. Not to the whole I gotta have it like every minute of the day thing, and I don't have to have it every day, but when I do want coffee, I love having coffee. Your dream vacation. A cabin in the mountains in Colorado. Me and my yarn and snow. Perfect vacation. Okay, we're gonna skip that because that's the same question. Last movie you watched. Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Yeah. We can skip that. What are you eating now? Well, I had a pot roast, and after that, I'm probably gonna go have more pot roast. How is your best friend? I think she's good. She's a little sad. She's from California, and luckily her home was right in the path of the fires. She did not lose her home, but the summer camp she worked at for many, many years did burn down. So she's a little upset right now because she lost a place that was very dear to her. Everyone is safe. Everyone is safe. But yeah, she's a little sad. You know, a place from her childhood is gone up in flames. What novels do you read? I read sparingly. Right now I am reading fan fiction, but it is novel length. It is in the Merlin fandom, if you love Merlin. So I'm currently reading that. I did read The Soldier's Scoundrel recently. That's a historical male-male romance. It was really good, actually. And I started reading the sequel, which is a Lawrence Brown affair, but I found that I was... because it's technically a sequel, but it focuses on the main characters from the first book, his brother, in the second book. And I really liked the dynamic of the characters from the first two books and was kind of disappointed that I wasn't getting to see more of them in the second book. And so after I got halfway through and I wasn't enjoying it as much as I did the first one. So I put that down. I read the second of the Crochet Murder Mysteries by Betty Hechtman. I think that was called Dead Men Don't Crochet. That was good. It's just a nice little cozy murder mystery. That was good. But no, right now I am reading fan fiction. Oh, that was number 10 of 116. Well, technically it was 11, but I skipped one. Okay. So let's now go to the Ravelry page or the Ravelry thread, and I will answer some of these. So I have a kindred spirit who basically loves Harry Potter as much as I do. So she asked me this like list of Harry Potter questions. Okay. I know you're a Harry Potter fan. Have you seen the movies and read the books? Which do you prefer? Okay, so I have read all of the books and I have seen all of the movies, and I love them, love them, love them. The which do I prefer is hard to answer. I think I love both, but for very different reasons. I love the books because you can really immerse yourself in that world. You get to build the world up in your head and see it the way that you would see the Wizarding World. You get so much more of the characters. You get to see places that we don't normally get to see in the movies, and, you know, it really just kind of comes alive in your mind. I think that's why I like the books. They're very well written. They, you know, a lot of the story gets you get closure, regardless of all the plot holes and everything else, which are going to exist in any universe. You know, you really just get to be in that universe. But I love the movies, and I think the reason I love the movies so much is because you finally get to see all of the things you've only imagined. And you're not just seeing it, you know, how one person envisions it, you know, because J.K. Rowling had to sign off on these things. So you're seeing the world as J.K. Rowling would have seen the world. And that just makes it, in a way, it makes it real. So I love that about the movies. We finally get to see the magic. We get to experience the magic. We get to see these characters come to life. And you know, the movies did what they did in terms of focusing. They had to pick a plot. They had to pick the main story, and they had to go with it. There just wasn't enough time to do all of the things that we would have liked to see. So the movies did what they did, and they did it very well. And so I actually really like the movies for that reason. Now, to extrapolate on that, I think I am on the unpopular opinion side of things. I would really love to see the books readapted into a TV series. I know there are a lot of problems with how that might become a thing, and there's a loyal fan base who doesn't want to see that happen. But personally, I think we can see more of the world if it were a TV show. I don't know. I would like to see it. It's really hard to see somebody else step into the roles that we know and love, but I really think that the world of Harry Potter would benefit so greatly from a TV series. Assuming you've read the books, which one is your favorite? Oh, that's tough. That's really tough. Honestly, it's a toss-up between the first one and the last one. The first one introduces you to the world. It gets you in there, it gets you excited, it gets you interested. It's a really great way to just dive into the world of Harry Potter. But I love the last one because of the adult themes of the struggles you have to tackle, of the whole protagonist overcoming everything that could possibly destroy them. And you see the characters grow, you see the culmination of everything that's been going on through these books, and it finally comes to a head in the last book. Just to see all of the little information, the little hints, the little clues, and it pieces together right there that at the end. That, I think that's why I'd have to say it's a toss-up between 1 and 7. The first one and the last one. Assuming you've seen the movies, which one is your favorite? The second one. And I'll tell you why. The second one, mainly because it's still very close to the book, and it's really the last movie where we truly get to see Quidditch. Quidditch is probably one of my favorite parts of the movies, the Quidditch matches, because it's such a cool game. It's such an interesting experience as a person in reality to watch this game and feel like it could be so real and to want to play the game. So the second one, I think, just because the third movie hit that weird thing with the director, and they changed the way Hogwarts looked and moved everything around on the grounds, and that just got weird. So, yeah, no, I think the second one is my favorite in terms of storyline and plot, and keeping it true to the books. I think the seventh, though, because that's where a lot of magic happens, it's where a lot of excitement, and it really does kind of just grab you as an audience member. So, probably either the second or Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. I'd count those as one movie. Your favorite Harry Potter quote? I think it's going to be the same one that this person put. It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Just because that one kind of hits home for me. I spend a lot of time worrying about things that I have no control over. And if I would just live in the moment, I would probably feel a lot better. But it's hard sometimes just because of the way my mind works. But I think it's the same quote. It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. So I think that's my favorite quote as well. Next question. This is from a different person. I was just wondering if you've been to Knit Night lately. So for those of you who haven't maybe seen my last couple of podcasts, or you have and just didn't, because I kind of breezed over, I no longer go to Sin City Knit Shop. I go to Mad Knitter's Yarn. Sin City Knit Shop is in Greater Las Vegas. Mad Knitter's Yarn is in Henderson, which is still technically Vegas because there's not really any disconnect between the two. But I when I moved, I ended up closer to Mad Knitter's Yarn, and I found that the owner there is very excited about my dyeing and my sewing, and I went to Stitches SoCal, and she kind of, I took it upon myself, but she was very excited that I came back with all of these contacts for her, for people that she could, dyers that she could try to get in her shop. But I do go to her shop, and I go on Fridays now. I go on Friday nights. It's a very cute little shop. I love going there. The people are just absolutely amazing, and they welcomed me with open arms. It's a really awesome place to be, and I like that the transition was kind of smooth, because, it kind of sucked deciding not to go to Sin City Knits anymore, because, that was my home. But it just made more sense, both socially and even from a business perspective, just to move over to Mad Knitters. And everything there has been great. I really enjoy everything about the shop. And if you do come to Las Vegas, don't forget to check her out. So Sin City Knit Shop is kind of in the middle of everything, and it's a great shop. But don't forget to stop in at Mad Knitters. It's a great place. You can see a lot of really cool things. She's got some really cool yarns. She gets some stuff from the UK sometimes. So there's a lot of really cool things about her shop as well, and I think she probably has the best selection of needles and tools and notions in the city. So be sure to check her out. Come on in, see what she's got. She's always got something new coming in. She's got mugs, she's got yarn bowls, she's got all kinds of really cool stuff. You should definitely check her out. Oh, and she has a website. I'll put that in the video description box below. Thank you so much for joining me for this question and answer video. I know it kind of went in a weird direction, but I really think there's a lot of cool things to learn there, and I think maybe for the next question and answer video, I'll pull up some more of those just random questions to answer for you guys. I think this is really fun. If you like this type of video, let me know. I'm really excited to continue learning more about you guys, and for you guys to learn more about me. So I'm gonna go. It is, it looks like it is the doggy's bedtime. Oh, you're so cute. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for joining me for this. Feel free to ask me many more questions. I welcome them all. And I will see you again very soon here on the Budget Knitter podcast channel. Thanks.